So pretty much I was just doing this, and I have to re-say it to what I was doing to be morbid to say that I was saying something of not myself, even though in the best situation to say that. So pretty much I had spoken to myself, and then I figured what was this lens of this mutual person that was there in opposite of 27, and pretty much they had did like a rampant on, you know, they're unable to do this thing, and all that Rebecca S. Van Dyke has been doing has been holding to say something, and the experience of listening to this time to getting something transferred to Catherine Young before I said something had not done. The previous one did not record, and it sounds different, and it's all misconstrued. And I said, hey, you know, if you're not there, so I'm not saying what I am saying to get to say something away from what I wanted to say something, but I am approved. So it was the attitude of why is not a porn person pro-sex doing something to say if doing something for me to enter the world to do something or creating a problem like using an anesthesiologist resident or re-paraphrasing something to connect two things together. Rebecca S. Van Dyke unsuccessfully passed the medical share to the Trinity Health and unsuccessfully from the priority of everything that I wanted. So finance and accounting first, and then job order, and I pretty much almost everything that's in contrast to saying that I care about my car, which I'm not going there, and I'm gonna go check with B and K to see what the counter is of, because he told me he was pretty frustrated with that. But the point of you not being able to make a point is because I have no idea. Every time that I'm trying to talk into this chronological path of doing something is every time a standard department or as there's a proof of doing something wrong. I'm not an unintelligent individual that would have to say something, and having a value to counter that you would say that I was not saying something to do something is pretty much saying the ability to give me the problem that I would say that. So all I was saying is that it has to be somebody who is in porn or to do that to get this person's signature for pro-life, pro-sex, because it is stupid and it is incorrect for how you are doing that. You are not able to do something essential and doing something just to harass somebody. And then, you know, all the theoretical of just how you allow yourself to exist for something is everything that you can say to aggregate that you're a problem with me. You know, pretty much everything that I heard in the previous recording that shows that you were already attempting other person to do something. You don't know anything, you're 35 years old, you're 10 years apart, and Cassie Howard is not making an effort to make things better. She's living off you, creating a reverse world where you both got choked. And you're substituting, you know, porn stars that you don't like to not helping you do something that you asked that you would not consider because you found people unreliable. I did find people unreliable, and I do find people unreliable, and it was part of the 1 to 5 of what I wanted to get done. And every time that you say to tell me to stop saying something, then you get this idea of what you weight the value or brokerage of that. Well, you're just looking at somebody's dick lay on the floor. Man, dude, is that all that you did? Nobody cares if you apologize. I'm telling you that we live two completely different lives, and you're a complete adult to say that you don't need to hear if somebody is an adult or not an adult, and you're in porn. Okay. I don't want to hear you. Okay. Who is somebody in porn, or is that, and see is how stupid what you did not do that deserves a cue of something like that, that you were capable of doing that. before I was asking you something else to do. I'm not telling you to talk about something else because you are distinguishing the opposite values that you don't hold. Let's take a moment to listen to what you offer. No contact, not willing to communicate with the Department of Failure Family, nothing. I don't have any pride in anything that I said when I said that to be more motivated now. Everything from the video of doing that pretty much seems like a facade of what you are trying to push. And then all you are going to say is some racial terrorist slur for you to accept how filthy you are, you recycling muskrat. You are taking up too much space in this world. Yeah, right. It's self-justification to see that you did not convert somebody. What was the easiest thing to say that Darian did for you? That they were taking up too much space so you could live on the other 99%. Garbage, dude. You lost money just by existing. You created a stupid philosophy. It is not on the priority chart. What is the A, B, C, D, E, F of what this person does if they did not get to write their own thesis statement to what they wanted? Finance and accounting, the new job to the 21 standard, not having things like that. The intelligent converter, conversation converter. Wow. Securities, social securities. Okay. What like defending our money, is somewhere up there. A standard department, which is now the Department of Failure Family, which has a number, so if people do mess around, that is attached to my body. More of a Morrowind level of security, like my body is my alias. This is ridiculous. You know, what if I was to get it to work? I don't understand. I don't understand why I do not have to see this person to live this world, and if you did not get me somebody to get me on a queue for that, then what did you do? If you're so bad that you have to show the potential that you can make something happen, because that is just garbage. That sucks. What did you say by not saying anything is what I consider what you say. This was pretty stupid. So what you said to not wanting somebody is your worst weight of you being around is going to be somebody's attraction to that. So you having sex on somebody just to see it that way was the best thing for somebody to do speaking English. Who cares? You know, if you said you were that nothing to what you said on the real fact of the already proof of what was said, then you could have said, wow, I'm really not that nothing. Thank you. Then I wouldn't have to use this connection of what I had just said for you. The reason that I have to talk like this to you so complicated is because the only thing you're doing is looking at a dick and trying to see it some other way. Did you have weird interracial sex with somebody who is my relative, or created an opposite world where you created some kind of IDE of what you think you were doing to somebody? Did you let somebody pretend sex somebody else? Has Devil Baby ever appeared in pornography? That is a name that is on this that I can prove. And have you ever used that in waiting to hurt people? Or because the router of what Darian does is not what he is doing to other people. That is somebody who uses the conspiracy of that. I mean, if there was a proof of like a no container, then so, but I think there is. I think that that argument is valid. You failed. If every time you sit, you find yourself identifying yourself and you're not it, then you're not it. no relatives on that medical thing. Why isn't it passed to that? And whose signature is the last thing that they found acceptable? Wow, I said a whole bunch of other stuff on how it would be way better for the value of not doing anything from said relatives was not connected to what, what is, I did nothing. I have gained value. Why could you not find yourself to gain your own value to yourself? Where is Rebecca S. Van Dyke, and is she communicating with people who know how to continue speaking or no? Every time that you speak in intelligible conversation converter, you feel that everything is 1, 2, 3. You feel better about talking. I can explain sort of how you almost feel better, and then it just kind of goes in this, and then you find that there's not an equal to the garbage that you shared to prove yourself in a container of something that's almost not true because it's just so poorly done. Okay. You don't give us job security, you put us at risk with all this bullshit. You don't present yourself, and it's just some nasty girl who is not helping out, who's yawning over years over you. And then hearing something like age versus correction. I think my correction is beyond your age. And not even at like good stats. It's crazy. The challenge was, how do you get the IDE to work correctly? Who is going to get somebody who is in that industry like so, because that's what it would take to get the pull to say something like, I will not find myself in the way of this, even if you did not say that you were against that, and you put yourself to say that that was an option to what you said, then that would be saying something. You did not create a proper thesis of what a person was to be able to live in that. Likewise, why is my wrist not healing? And why is it like tampering with my body? I'm as cool as what is functioning for dare, the pieces of dare. Like the thyroid, not knowing the thyroid doctor, not knowing the eye doctor, not knowing if Michigan University Kellogg is doing the eye surgery illegally or is bypassing it via some way. Or how many times is something too much in any kind of x-ray? Or how do you make notes that you do not annotate? Or how do you have chronological data on medical data that you do not acknowledge as a storyline? Somebody who really messed up their life so that there's a depiction of some kind of polarity of a value at all as a value, just a value, something like blatant to make it work. So if you said something, then you said something. If you did not say something, then you did not say something. If you were someone's friend, you were someone's friend. If you're not someone's friend, then you're not someone's friend. That's the kind of like altruist thing to recover that. And you're not working on the cloth before you're not working on if you succeeded at having Darian have sex, then you have succeeded at doing your job as whatever sex therapist. Not that Holland Hospital thinks that they're an unparticipant to the theoretical observation of themselves that they don't participate in because they're unable to speak sentences. That's a theoretical conspiracy, and that is a two-word thing. Theoretical observation. Look it up. Okay, before I was looking at this, and then to do that, hey, the problem that I have with Cassie Howard is that I use 1 fraction 2 to stay at the bottom for what I have, and she uses the like a half method of 2 over 1 to say that, you know, I am this thing over what you are, and then uses the 1-to-1 to collect rewards from the thing that I am doing to defend myself by being explorative. Wow, you know, if it was, you know, I can say what I want because you failed from these amounts of the warm up, the standard of service that I never said that you did not say. So you did say that you were saying that it was an issue for me to say it because you thought in you're humble that saying nothing was you're humble to doing something. Am I not either what you arouse a bassist on the Department of Failure Family in for or whatever is based on my presence? What is benefiting me to get over there? Not like you have your own problems. So I'm not asking you to every time step into my situation to make something worse where you do not contact in English so it sounds like a conversation. Whatever. I feel like value to value, that's the most somebody can say on a paraplegic excuse of what they really are doing. It's like being able to say, like, how that's not fundamental. It's like geisting a person. I'm bringing life to a ghost that doesn't necessarily operate like that. Okay. If it can live completely, then no, I'm not going to say that you're subjecting me to what I said the priorities before you had already made something worse. I don't have to hear something like, you know, said fathers are having sex with said crush or whatever to say that what is next. What exists by itself to what you say to what is a custom? Alright, as I was saying, the challenge was how do we get the integrated development environment, even though it's completely different. I was really doing a different tactic, which I was just doing to see everything through. Yeah, so ungraded to say what I was doing is like that. Like this person is not all those other values. The person that I'm incubated or betaed with, they're definitely all those things. Definitely adult orientated. So how would I be able to speak if I would turn into a dick? Because that's how it would prove a point. How would you operate that? A cue, like somebody who's not going to be a prick about anything theoretical. So, like somebody's gonna be like, wow, these people did this, and I can altruistically say that these things will be here. No, it's just stupid. It's so garbage. 2 months, or what was it? 2 months to do something, to say something in between, to create relativity is like a diagram of saying at risk the benefits of what you said good to what you not, and what you attempted to collect on your side to what you say for my defense of what you're saying by something that you are doing. Okay. If you didn't attach anything to that, then how would those moments have ever happened? If there was ever an argument and that was your job to watch that argument, then what had you do? What did you do? If you do that and you do the downloads for the pip panda or pip download whatever, you could subscribe yourself as a theoretical doctor by, or you could not be that doctor is what I want, for you to be able to pass those notes to Trinity Health so I could get on the correct employment. You owe me. You are doing illegal experiments. You do not even have a twin for your research on the point of a success or fail, and you don't even hold liability for that. Wow, it's $10,000 for what I said missing and $1,000 shorting. And when is a financial advisor platform liable for the boldest statement of, I know that on eToro nobody could have a success on there, but I mean, come on. I mean, it doesn't look like somebody had taken the initiative to what seemed to already work. And I can't put myself in a situation where I know that there is death to be like, I think something, but I really feel that I had an opportunity almost. But you think that I'm not doing anything to benefit myself? If so, for what that is to being minimized, I mean, it's not doing anything. I exist. You didn't do anything. You didn't protect anybody. You won't even acknowledge that you'll do that. If there's what is a number for the Department of Family, then it's not 911. It is a actual different number. But who does that to say that, to do that you would not do that anyways? So it really doesn't seem like anybody needs you like that. You install Docker, you upload Docker. So it's cube to the C#, and remember C# is that to the cube, and it has a sharp to be a cube, and then you turn that, even though I sounded kind of bad. Oh yeah, if so, then complain about it, because have you ever done anything theoretical or talked or communed with anybody to say that you were talking about something real, that you were responsible for writing the medical code as a behavior technician for said person, who autopiloted you a job where you did not do anything? Do you not owe any person? You are not the most intelligent thesis, and you do not have the most money, and you do not have the most whatever on your thesis. I can challenge your thesis with whatever, and I'm not going to be doused with whatever. Okay. I'm not going to be smothered with incompetence. This was garbage. Why is a 25-year-old going to have to deal with somebody's whatever crutch of whatever that is for me to say? Why would I be the one left to say something? Okay. Because then it's not there, because I'm looking for something that is not there. Okay. So when I go to bed, or when I cross-value myself at that same moment, I'm still at that same point of where that was left. Okay. So whoever can figure out how to fix the algorithmic thing to get that to work, whatever way they do, I'm not looking to do the top floor ceiling technique. As far as I know, it's the alpha channel of the mean revision, and doing that and fixing some stuff. And yeah, I was mad that I recommended Pancake Slap. It's the dividends. I value it if the volume did not switch again to the coins, and that they had to stagnate on a portfolio function that we'll later talk about how we're going to use the portfolio on this. If I can open the folder, and then we can see one. Let's see. Algorithm. Oh no, this is. Oh shoot. It was supposed to be. No, I think the lead one on your C# is not the one that you need. This is a really like deducted problem, like squaring and cubic, like playing with the cubes, playing with the blocks to see how we do this, and it really helps out. No, there's nothing that bad, I swear. Except this collage of this to make something better. Then who is? It's cute because I do use the Lean Master, but then I have to get the code. How do we get the CSV to that? This, that, switch. I feel like my mother did. I mean, I did that to bring that as a situation where you know able to know how to use a terminal. Maybe I'll make another segment on how I can fix that alpha pie chart. And you know, nothing theoretical to the ownership of what somebody is to say that is not what that globus pandemic or attempted whatever onto somebody. Blame. If you could take the minus blame, minus blame as what we'll do as we learn this, and then what would really be constituting what we're saying right now. If there wasn't blame, then you wouldn't be responsible for that, for what I think of you, and then I wouldn't think that I was responsible for something that I'm not in router, which is not my body. This is not even, it don't even look like how I sometimes see that. It's a bit different, but maybe that, so the GitHub, let's see here. Well, because I was watching that. You can't say something like that. You know, bringing something in my ear to tell me something, that's not how you value a conversation. I'm not your friend either, and I will find you. See, all these things of you being here, this is not your home. This is not your circle. This is not your integrated development environment, and it's not interior to whatever macro. You are separate to this world, and you do not have to participate in Darian's world or Failure Family. You don't have to be here. Okay. Reiterate what you had just said. Okay. That was kind of embarrassing. I was looking for the repository. You think that's normal for me to go on to the next thing, to see yourself, to do something else? It was either that my fake problem with my left eye to being targeted, or that there's shares and eye contact to being surprised. Okay. I don't know. Every time. Well, this is the one that you just looked at pretty much. Well, I'm gonna do this by myself. But having a testicle as my brain was not the success of Michigan University doing what they're supposed to do. And you're supposed to do a bit better than that. This sucks. I don't even, like, I'm kind of annoyed to do that here, but you already know this is a cube. Click on the terminal to add the stuff to there, which this is more of just setup. Then PY, and you can't really set me up because it was Farm Bureau insurance, and that you had on the challenge of getting that house at the Hazelwood. On what Michigan Department says is that you cannot have FBI in your email, so then you would have been doing some sort of soliciting and extortion, where Darian wasn't making so much as, you know, keeping 666 hardly in their pocket in a basement to be shit on still. Okay. Is that a social service? These kind of things are why Quant Connect exists, and how those divorces happen. Okay. I don't know how to do it. I was just pissed off. I'll go to bed pissed off. And then we'll be talking like this, because this is how we're talking. Okay. Because we're not even talking, it seems. Okay. That's the value. Okay. I hope you get a good grade for the whatever. Okay. Alright, this was pretty stupid. You know, if you're not saying things to say whether I got into a good relationship, if I'm not, if my sex therapist is not getting into where I have sex, then they're not doing their job. Okay. I say, you know, you cannot put intention to what you already know as a securities personal to what I say, to what you see that, for what that is against me. Again, you saying something, me not having sex, to you not being able to prove that you do your job. Do your job. If you being better than somebody means that somebody can't live freely, then I'm going to have to go against you in some way. Yeah, you're hilarious. You've reinvented yourself as somebody with a challenge. Okay. This is, I guess, is what happens when something means like absolutely nothing. Okay. How are they gonna contact me for that porn thing so I don't have a dick going through my head, or I'm a worm? Did you like go to your professional on that next day and thought you had a caviar? Because, or are you creating the existence of myself that it's impossible that Darian has any value? This is not a reality where I fall into your vagina and mean the entire world. This is ridiculous. That I'm 1% and you're 99% of this incompetence. So you could say you are yourself. Just somebody like goth and sensible or synth or social or able to has passed through a number of gates of challenges to people who isn't 360 about themselves, who can understand the 50-50 coin challenge, has a good sense of security to risk that resolves, that upgrades themselves within years, that any job upgrading advertisement has no derivatives beyond the amount made that month to the overall progression to being right at the top. Like, that will be all that is said. And yeah, the other part is true. Hello. Hi. Alright. That's pretty much that. There's no comments that you're gonna do an additive or call the 313-487-8851, 8856 or 8856 to prove that that is a real number, because that is the one on my VoIP, which is not in exclusivity of if a contact direct interior department integration was real, and that if that's all that I was collecting, that was real. Alright, that was that.